Hi friends, good morning. You know, as on 23-24, your debt to GDP ratio is 81%. As on 23-24, our country owns a debt of 174 lakh crore, and which is constituting 81% of our GDP. This is very alarming for a country who needs to be a developed country by 2047. It's going to be a Herculean task. It's not really good to be a third economy, world economy, with an average per capita income less than extremely poor, whereas the Japan, who are we competing with, they have a per capita income of $51,000, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, in GST we have over 15 million registered taxpayers, including normal taxpayers and composition taxpayers. And the kind of GST management in this country, as a professional for last more than 4 decades in this field, I think the entire GST management, they want to kill the system. The kind of litigation they bring in, the kind of apathy they have towards the system, the kind of knowledge they display in their analysis, the kind of horribly drafted order they pass, and the lack of training, plus there is a functional subject financial bias in the cases. With, say for example, Delhi GST, where I live, it is the most pathetic department in the country. They actually do nothing, absolutely. They have no interest in any GST management. For refunds, they take 2 years. They don't even acknowledge the applications. And you go to DGI, go to CGST, and this is so horribly to talk to those people. They know nothing, and professionals prepare cases for days with the judgments, with the written submissions, but these fellows know nothing, absolutely zero. Whenever you appear before them, the discussion takes place a very different twist. With the result that people like me walk over. We surrender the cases. We don't want to do it. It is for the finance minister and prime minister to see whether whatever GST collection we do, for which we do a lot of chest thumping, this is only a walk-in GST. There is no effort being made by these commissioners you have appointed or the kind of paraphernalia you have in GST management. It's a walk-in revenue from the corporate sector or from the honest taxpayers. The GST frauds last 7 years, you have not been able to stop. Why? Because there is no weakness in law. Because the people who deal with it, they know absolutely nothing about law. They start granting registrations. They don't verify for which they have the power. They don't audit for years. So if you allow a person to do chori for 5 years, and then you say, no, I will catch him, do audit. But then within 5 years, what he has done, this cannot be undone. So what it leads to? It leads to a prolonged litigation, and the honest taxpayers start getting harassed. They feel insulted to be tax-paying people. And I know in my professional life, so many cases which I do, where I think the guy was honest. He has been trapped. So therefore, the kind of laws you have made, laws are good. The laws will have drafting errors which courts keep correcting. Now see what is happening in our court system. Most of the high courts are remanding the matters. They do not lay down any law whatsoever. The Supreme Court, it takes years because there is so much litigation happening from the government side. And the GST department is the biggest litigation creation today. For 5 years, they don't send any notices. Now, towards the end of June, for 18-19, we are in 25, you are sending notices right, left, and center under Section 74. And I can tell you as a professional, the people who are sending notices under Section 74, I can bet they have never read Section 74 in their life. They write nothing in the notices, but the litigants feel harassed. They want to surrender their number, they want to get into grey market. Why the hell should they be paying tax? It is for the government, Ministry of Finance. You must constitute a panel to train people, to tell them the nuances of law, to tell them how to draft notices, to tell them how to draft orders, to tell them not to harass people. They don't even know how to read a 3B, 2B and what is their function. And forget section 16. They know nothing about section 70 to 74. They know nothing about section 54 in which they give refunds. How many fraudulent refunds have been taken by the dishonest taxpayers? You don't know. There's no audit. You audit honest taxpayers, harass them. Why don't you audit the refund files where refunds worth crores and crores have been given? And I can tell you, more than 50% refunds will be fraudulent refunds, be it for exports or inverted duty structure or for any other reason. You keep issuing circulars, keep issuing notifications. So what GST you are doing as a government, it's a completely mismanaged law. And the kind of litigation that's going to happen in GST regime, it will shock the entire world. Because lakhs of cases, and we are in 7th year, we do not have a constitutional provision of GST tribunal. I want to ask the government, why not? What is the big hitch? Why can't you follow Supreme Court orders? You have to have tribunal. Now imagine when tribunal is constituted and lakhs of appeal have to go to tribunal, what will happen? And we keep reporting GST collection. What is the basis of GST collection reporting? Is it net of refund? Is it including 10% pre-deposits? Is it including show cause notices, adjudicated demands? What are these GST collection? There are only 15 million taxpayers. It has to be 3 times more than this, because the people in department they don't move. They just keep sitting in their seats and keep making some kind of horribly wrong reports to misguide the government. They have to move out. Like in Delhi, I think the number of taxpayers should be minimum 20 lakh. It's hovering around 8 lakhs. Why not? Because the Delhi commissioner will not move out at all, will do nothing. They will keep sitting in their chambers, keep telling officers and ask them to make reports. It is for the chief ministers, it's for the finance ministers, it's for the Ministry of Finance to take stock of this GST management before it is too late. The entire corporate sector is getting harassed by these officers. They issue demands worth show cause notices worth hundreds of crores and then they withdraw. So for example, case of Infosys. They raid and they threaten people, they collect money, and then when people go to High Court, they say, okay, give tax back, you can't collect, there's no assessment done. They start giving interest, even then they don't give refund. I know cases in High Courts in Delhi where in spite of High Court directions, the officers don't move. He says, Commissioner ka instruction nahi mila. Is Commissioner above High Court? So I will request the Honorable Finance Minister of the country and the Prime Minister and the Home Minister and the Chief Ministers of the states, take stock of the situation. If you want more money, GST machinery has to be effective, very alive to their responsibilities, and the people in GST department must know law. And I can tell you, I work in 11, 12 states, and the situation is horribly wrong. They know absolutely zero about GST law management. They still keep quoting old judgments to tax or to give relief, which is not correct. And GST tribunal has to be very quick, and there should be time limit within which they must dispose of the appeals. Even for High Court also, there should be a time limit when we go in appeal. They should dispose of within time limit. And High Courts can also have a separate GST benches. Go to Europe, they have their separate GST authorities. Well, friends, I thought I must make a GST video of this issue, because the GST collection are not good. They are suboptimal, because they are only based on 15 lakh taxpayers, including 15 million taxpayers, including around 1 million composition dealers all over the country. And you have such a huge machinery to enforce this, but the enforcement is absolutely pathetic. And the professionals and the taxpayers, the corporate sector are really getting harassed. And the people might leave GST arena and start going into grey market, which is going up in an alarming rate. Associations must take up. They should not toe down a government line. They should guide the government. We are not doing good. The local MPs, Delhi has 7 MPs. We have Praveen Khandelwal, who himself is a lawyer, who knows GST in and out. He should be advising the Chief Minister and the department, look, this is what we're doing to collect more tax. Well, this is a video which should shock our conscience. And I thought I will make it, take the risk. Thank you.